So you might be asking yourself, so how much is this Honda Vezel? Because you might want to understand the price point so that you can know whether to buy it or go to another brand. But the price keeps changing depending on the year and the model. So the price varies significantly based on the model year, condition, trim, mileage, and whether it's a hybrid or a non-hybrid. But I'll give you a very rough estimate. So for the 2015 to 2017 models, the price point is 2.3 million to 2.8 million Kenyan shillings. From 2018 to 2020, it's 2.8 to 3.5 million. And 2021 moving onwards, plus the second generation, is 3.5 million onwards. These are newer imports or locally sold HRV models, which is the Honda Vezel. And the prices are subject to market fluctuations, taxes. If you are listening in from Kenya, you understand KRA have issued new terms of engagement, especially when it comes to vehicle importations. So the price varies depending on the model, condition, trim, just like I mentioned, and whether it's a hybrid or a non-hybrid. Now, for the Kenyan market, of which I am currently in, the Honda Vezel remains a highly attractive option in Kenya due to its excellent fuel economy, especially the hybrid model. I know I've listed a list of four flaws when it comes to the hybrid model, but a major plus with rise in fuel costs, the hybrid model is the most sought after. There's the stylish design. It's a coupe SUV, and its style makes it stand out. I mean, when this vehicle came in at the realm of 2020, late 2020, early 2021, this vehicle is so unique and it was a head turner. A lot of people were looking at this car and they were marveling at its sight. The practical and spacious interior, the magic seats are a genuine advantage for versatility, and the comfortable ride and easy to drive for daily commutes, for long distance journeys. I can tell you, you'll never go wrong, especially when it comes to a Honda Vezel. And this is a car that is very comfortable. You will not get tired, even if you drive for longer distances. It will offer you space, comfort, and a very good ride and handling because of its steering. Very good. You will never struggle, especially when it comes to overtaking. I know there are people who have a tendency of rushing, especially when it comes to driving. But when you drive this car in long distance journeys, you'll have a very good ride and you'll enjoy the ride as you move forward. So for the potential buyers who are looking forward to owning a Honda Vezel, especially if it's a hybrid model, there are many problems that come with it and you have to contend with them. No, for the non-hybrid, not so much, because with a regular engine service, with regular maintenance and making sure that all the components are serviced based on a disciplined timeline, the issues are not present. But for the hybrid, because of the hybrid motor and the hybrid DCT, they have a slew haul of problems, and the hybrid and DCT battery has concerns. A thorough pre-purchase inspection by a hybrid specialized mechanic is important before making a purchase, especially for the hybrid models. And this one comes in especially to the in the locally used car market. And you also have to factor in a potential future battery replacement cost if it comes down to it because of the battery degradation. If the car was not maintained well, battery degradation can happen and it will force you in buying a new battery. And the new battery will cost you upwards of 100,000 to 180,000 plus going up. Then there's the spare parts. Be prepared for potential challenges and costs when sourcing specific non-routine spare parts. So the non-routine spare parts are hitting out, that we are hitting at the hybrid model. So the DCT engine components, which include clutch packs, actuators, transmission control modules specific to the Vezel's 7-speed DCT. Also, we have the hybrid components, the hybrid battery, inverter, motor generators, specific wiring harnesses, and high voltage relays. This is hitting at the hybrid model. to be specific, because all these components make the car be very fuel efficient and have a lot of power. And if not taken care of, you'll have to take the bill. You have to take the tab and the bill on making sure that you buy these parts. Then also there's the body panel and lighting issues. While generic replacements for light might exist, specific body panels, unique headlights, or taillights might need to be imported directly from Japan or sourced from salvage vehicles. That means they're going to be they'll be brand new, locally used secondhand. So those are the issues that you have to deal with. You can't get the original one because it's very difficult for you to be able to get one because you have to wait for a while. Then also the advanced electronics, the sensors unique to the Vezel's Honda's sensing suite, if equipped, are specific infotainment modules or complex controlling units. So there are issues that you'll have to contend with, especially when you're planning on owning the Honda Vezel. And these are things that you must accept because with uh, with with high upside, also high downside also comes in, and you have to take the good with the bad with it, because no vehicle manufacturer can come out and say that their car is foolproof, because there's always an issue with the car models, especially with the new cars that are coming in. So you might ask yourself, or this question comes in, and you're looking at, I want to own this vehicle and I want to stay with this vehicle for multiple years because of its good service. And you might also ask yourself again, what can be the maintenance of this vehicle at a high mileage? And in this one, I'll look at the maintenance cost for a Honda Vezel at 100,000 miles. That's 160,000 kilometers. So for a vehicle that has achieved this level of mileage, that means that this vehicle has hit almost near mid of its life, and there are there are things that are bound to happen when a vehicle has been driven for this long time. That will mean that this vehicle has been driven for a very long time. It might have one, two, or three owners, and because of its maintenance history, it will enable people to be able to switch these vehicles for other models or have many owners along with it. So the Honda Vezel, they are generally known for their reliability and can last a long time with proper care. On average, a well-maintained Vezel can last between 150,000 to 200,000 miles, and some owners report exceeding 200,000 miles. So some sources even suggest a potential of between 200,000 to 250,000 miles or more. So 100,000 miles is considered a high mileage vehicle for a used car, but for a Honda Vezel with a good maintenance history, it can be a reliable vehicle for many more years and miles. And for somebody like me who doesn't like changing vehicles, I want a vehicle that can serve me for the longest time with the least amount of hassle, and a vehicle that I've been used to and I understand every single component. But there are also common problems that come with 100,000 miles or a high mileage vehicle. Let's say this vehicle has you have driven it for about 200,000 miles. So for the hybrid models, the dual clutch transmission issues they come in, which is the most common and frequently reported problems. Owners may experience jerky gear shifts, hesitation in acceleration, or even the vehicle rolling backwards or incline, just like I mentioned earlier. There's the sluggish acceleration and jerking, are often linked to the DCT issues in hybrid models, but can also be related to throttle sensors or the software of the vehicle. There's the fuel economy concerns as well. While marketed as fuel efficient, high mileage units might not perform at factory level efficiency. Degrading of the hybrid battery, especially for the hybrid models, can happen over time and also impacts on the overall power of the vehicle because the power is now halved. And the battery life and replacement costs for the hybrid model, I mean, they are it's at a high it's at the high end, and the hybrid batteries are designed to last for years, but factors like hot climate and inconsistent charging can lead to a shorter lifespan for the vehicle. and the replacement cost is significant. Just like I mentioned earlier, the hybrid battery for the Honda Vezel can range between 100,000 to 180,000 Kenya shillings, which is very expensive. Then there's the gearbox and transmission sound issues. Whining or rearing sounds during low speed gear changes accompanied by vibrations or delayed shifting can indicate a strained gearbox, often due to prolonged use in traffic without proper transmission fluid maintenance can be a very, very huge issue. Also, there's the spare parts and maintenance challenge, especially for imported Vezels. Finding genuine parts for DCT systems, hybrid modules, or interior electronics can be challenging, leading to delays and inflated costs at the garage and the mechanics, and also labor costs in putting everything together. And also sourcing the parts can also be expensive. The electrical and in-car systems malfunction. So there's glitches in the infotainment systems, dashboard warnings, or sensor failures. They are reported, particularly with in the imported units with extensive use. If you import like a high mileage vehicle and it's nearing the 100,000 mile mark, the issues come in, and the Honda sensing suite might also show very many inconsistencies. The CVT, the continuous variable transmission concerns on the non-hybrid can also be an issue. While the Vezel is known for the reliability, the CVT transmission, if not properly maintained, might not be able to last long as traditional transmissions. So regular fluid flashes every 25,000 miles are crucial. And you can see, even with the reliability aspect, if the vehicle is not well maintained, it can turn out to be one of the most unreliable units ever. And at 100,000 miles, your Honda Vezel will require a comprehensive service, which typically includes routine checks, rotating the tires, changing the engine oil and filter, inspecting the tire rod ends, and inspecting suspension components, inspecting the drive shafts, inspecting the braking system, the front and rear brakes, the brake hoses and linings, parking brake adjustments, inspecting the cooling system, the fuel lines and connection, the exhaust system, and check all fluid levels at their condition. So those are the routine checks. Then when it comes to the replacements, you have the spark plugs, air cleaning elements, the dust and pollen filter, replace the transmission fluid, especially critical for the CVT models. And for following a severe schedule, and a routine schedule is something that is advised if applicable. And replacing the brake fluid, independent of mileage, often recommended every 3 years. Replace the rear differential fluid for the all-wheel drive models, and potentially replace the timing belts and inspect the water pump. And also check the owner's manual if you can be able to get one. And also the inspections and adjustments of the drive belt, the idle speed, the valve clearance. All those things are things that you have to be very cautious about if you plan on keeping this vehicle long term. And maintenance history is very important if you are considering a midlife Honda Vezel. So let's take the case you have seen the Honda Vezel. It has had multiple owners, and this vehicle is high mileage, and it has already hit the 100,000 mile mark. And you want to be very sure of this purchase. So there are a couple of things you can do to go about that. So there's the maintenance history. A detailed service record is paramount. Look for evidences of regular oil changes, transmission fluid changes, and other scheduled maintenance for that vehicle. And also, a pre-purchase inspection is required. If you're considering to buy a Honda Vezel that has already hit the 100,000 mile mark, have a trusted mechanic perform a thorough pre-purchase inspection, especially focusing on the transmission. Is it a DCT or CVT, and a hybrid system if applicable. Also the driving habits, how the car was driven in its first 100,000 miles, that's 160,000 kilometers, significantly impacts the current condition. Aggressive driving wears components faster, and that's one of those things that make the vehicle not be able to perform optimally. The previous user, if they were careless or there was somebody who did not care too much about the vehicle, it affects the overall transmission system of the vehicle and also the engine wear and tear, and also the climate and road conditions. Extreme temperatures, salty environments, or rough roads can accelerate the wear and tear of the vehicle. But generally, a Honda Vezel at 100,000 miles still has a good portion of its life left if well maintained. And if you're looking for a compact SUV that offers a blending blend of style, space, comfort, and outstanding fuel efficiency, the Honda Vezel is a strong candidate there. And that's all I got for you guys. So do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below. I know this video has been long because there's so much to unpack. And even when I was doing research and making and putting this video together, I saw there were so many flaws in the Honda Vezel hybrid model, and it's still a puzzle why it's still the most sought after, but still there are a lot of problems and a lot of challenges when it comes to this vehicle. And I can say quite frankly, if you're going to buy a Honda Vezel, I would prefer if you go ahead and buy the non-hybrid. You'll spend a little bit more on fuel, but it will save you the hassle because you don't have to deal with the battery degradation of the hybrid battery. You only focus on fueling, regular oil changes, oil checks, making sure that all the fluids are up to par, the coolant is okay, wheel rotations, changing the brake discs, changing the brake calipers and discs if possible. So it will not give you a headache or even dent your wallet when you're fixing the car. Even if you get a high mileage locally used vehicle, like let's say for example Honda Vezel that has had multiple owners, and you are going to go in and adopt that vehicle and drive that vehicle moving forward, you will not have a lot of problems with a non-hybrid similar to what you see with a hybrid model, because majority of the issues I've seen was with the hybrid model. And for the people who own hybrid models, be prepared to take on the challenges of dealing with the sourcing of the non-routine parts, especially when it comes to the hybrid model vehicle. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified, because I'm going to be coming with a ton of content of this nature. And also drop a comment down below on which vehicle that you want me to do an in-depth analysis on, or one of your favorite vehicles that you are looking at purchasing but you don't know anything about it. You can leave me a comment down in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to respond to that, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.